Hey there, fellow zombie apocalypse survivors, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series covering the Project Zomboid Unstable Build 42 release. If you would like to skip the changes of Build 42 or the setup of this character, please use YouTube chapters. Project Zomboid is an open-world isometric survival horror game that takes place in rural and suburban and rural Kentucky in 1993, where the virus outbreak has turned the entire population into zombies and you're stuck within the containment zone. You loot, build, craft, fight, farm, and fish for survival in a hardcore world where the next scratch could kill you. And I am playing, as you can see, well, I'm actually kind of blocking it, but I am playing the Unstable Build 42 branch, which I will cover some of its features in just a minute. And this series is just to sort of showcase the new stuff. I'm playing without mods, and I'll be playing on Apocalypse difficulty starting in Echo Creek. So before I start, I'm just going to very briefly cover what Build 42 adds that previous builds didn't have. So there's some engine improvements. So the game is going to run a little bit less clunky, I think. It adds pottery, blacksmithing, stoneworking, brewing, weapon crafting, new workstations, a bunch of new clothing, varied containers like tents and tarps and things like that. Animals to both hunt and domesticate, so sheep, chicken, pigs, cows, rabbits, deer, rats, etc. And then the resources gained from that, like meat, leather, eggs, milk, etc. It adds farming and new farming crops. You can get seeds from crops. Crops are seasonal. Some are industrial, like hemp for fabric or tobacco, etc. It introduces new pests to farming, like slug snails, etc. It requires weeding, and there's some synergy, like chickens can help control your slug infestation, for instance. It expands the map, so the map now has more zones. So I'm going to be starting in Echo Creek, which is sort of a new trailer park zone far west of everything that was previously added to the map. There's audio improvements. There is a fishing overhaul. There is changes to fluids, weapon parts, game polish, you name it. This update very well might be the largest update yet, especially given that there are now non-hostile NPCs. And not human ones, but in the case of animals. So let's jump in, shall we? Solo? Apocalypse? No mods, as you can see. Here is the new map. So it's like a road map, and it will zoom in on the parts that you're going to live in. So let's take a quick look. We have Echo Creek here, and if I start at Echo Creek, there is an industrial area and a shooting range to the west. To the south, there's Neil's Farm and a wildlife center. If we want to do animal husbandry stuff, the wildlife center might be nice. There's also a pond and a river that runs, and a scrapyard. And then there's Ekron. And then Echo Creek is not too far from Brandenburg, Riverside, Rosewood, Irvington. So we'll be starting here, somewhere in the trailer park. And I'm just going to name this Echo Creek 1. Let's hope I don't get up to 2. Oh, space is not allowed. Alright, as far as my character goes, I've already decided on the traits, but there are new traits, and there's a bit of trait balance. So trait balance would be, for instance, Smoker only gives you 2 points rather than 4, or High Thirst gives you, 1 instead of 4. So it's a little bit harder to min-max your character, but these are the traits that I have chosen. And some of the tooltips, of course, are not working. So I have Thin-Skinned, Conspicuous, Hearty Appetite, Prone to Illness, Slow Healer, Weak Stomach, Clumsy, Slow Reader, High Thirst, Gardener, Outdoorsy, which is the sort of renamed of Outdoorsman, Gymnast, Fast Learner, Keen Hearing, Wilderness, Knowledge. So this one's new. It adds Carving, Forging, Napping, and Maintenance, and Strong. So as you can see, I start with Boosted Agriculture, which is farming, Carving, Foraging, Napping, Light-Footed, Maintenance, and Nimble. Alright. I am apparently going to be Tracy Knox. Knox is a bit on the nose. Isn't it the Knox virus? Maybe I'm Patient Zero. And in we go. So we're going to start off in somewhere in Echo Creek. And at least at the start, I'm just going to get my surroundings, my bearings. It's also worth noting that I've not done a lot of prep for this. Since Build 42 came out, I was prepping for the marathon that was just 2 days ago, and I was editing until 4 a.m. yesterday, and then editing a lot yesterday as well. Meaning that I really only have a few hours logged at Build 42. So a lot of this is new to me as well. Here are some quick tips that have changed. Farm animals need a livestock zone, and will never leave it as long as they are safe, even if it is unfenced. Firearm aiming system has been upgraded. You are given a pistol to experiment with. Buildings and craftings are now done by pressing the new icons in the top left, which is here and here. Hold E to pick up and drag bodies, and the same to drop them. Kind of like how you can hold E to open and close doors. And then there is some gamepad and Steam Deck functionality that has not yet been upgraded. Also, this Build 42 is not multiplayer. It's single player only, and it's not for Mac. There were some bugs at the last minute. So we start off with a pistol, and you'll see a lot of these debug texts. I am not running mods, but there are mods to hide that kind of stuff. We have an ID card of who we are, which is kind of nice when you're trying to identify friend versus foe or people on a multiplayer server, etc. We've got the pistol, ammo, and magazines. I start with a strapless dress, shoes, socks, and a striped polo shirt. A very strange combination of things to wear, but who am I to judge? All right. Where are we exactly? So we are not in the trailer park of Echo Creek. We're in one of the nicer houses. That's kind of a nice start. The magazines are a bit different. So magazines in the game have names, and they're not consumed when you read them. So you can read them more than once, I think. It's possible to live here. So maybe I'll start to close all of the curtains in case I do indeed want this to be a base. But more than likely, I'm going to want to live somewhere where it's a little bit easier to do animal husbandry, because I'd like to cover that as a feature, meaning it probably means I'm not going to be living around here. Exactly. All right. Food. I'll take a bread knife. There is a lot more, like, stuff. And I'm not sure what of the stuff is useful and what is not useful. So I don't have, like, an upgraded checklist of things to loot. Because I have no idea. Now, my starter home is probably empty. Of zombies, that is. Which is why my guard isn't up. Usually you spawn... Oh, a fishing... okay, cool. We got a little satchel that I can throw on my back. Now, anyone that has watched any of my content knows I absolutely hate, you know, fishing games. So, I am happy to have the satchel, but, like, I'm not going to be picking up the rod. Even if it wasn't overhauled. And this starter home just does not seem to... Oh, no, I take that back. We've got needles and thread. Sweet. A bleach bottle, which I am going to empty out. And then I'm going to fill with normal water. So we got a 1 liter of fresh water. A sad letter. Yes, sign me up. Never. Alright, bye-bye strapless dress. I still don't have good shoes in order to stomp zombies on, but at least we have pants. What kind of I got? Okay. A key to the house that we live in. That's cool. And let's get outside and start looting the neighborhood. And see about trying to build up a loot pool. Now there's new combat systems, so it does tire the character out a lot more to get into fights. So you can't just go on like a slaying rampage of all the zombies on the block, because you will get very exerted very quickly. Well, we stomped him hard. Alright. It looks like there is a shed. And I don't know this area of the map. I've really never played here before. I don't even know where I am in relation to other things. But let's go ahead and head towards the gardening shed, because that typically has tools and the like. A flyer. So the flyers, some of the flyers are now readable, like newspapers and flyers. So here's one. It's an instructional seminar on drugs. With Chief Graham and Dr. Tara Handel and John Barris. No, I don't want a dare poster, but thanks. Yeah, come on out. Well, that was brutal. Do we need your long socks? Yeah, we do. And let's get rid of my old socks. All right. Doesn't sound like I'm alone, and I'm not. Now, if you're wondering, you can turn on the highlighting for melee, which is in the options. So this is not modded. I think it's one user interface or something, where you can highlight melee. Yeah, melee target outline right there. I'm just so used to playing with it. It's not modded. So if you want melee target outlines, just add it. Alright, let's turn off this TV. And I'll take 2 different colored pens. That works. Not finding a lot in the way of food. Ooh, that just changed. And everything goes into the satchel. And another key. Maybe to the shed out back. We'll see. Also sounds like I have company. I can click the... Oh, you had seed packets. Penelope, thank you. PP, that's what I'm going to call you. So we're going to plant PP's carrots and onions. A watch. Sweet. So now it is 11:10. So you said I can click on... Oh yeah, there we go. To mark down where it is. And... to put it in a plain text. Oh, the plain text feature is kind of nice. So now we know where the Louisville police headquarters is, which is kilometers from me. Good to know. Alright, we've got... Are you a scarecrow or a person? You're a scarecrow, but there's some people on the other side of the fence. Come on, let's move. It's a little dangerous to be stomping them as they flop over a fence, because they could lunge for your ankles and knock you over, but I like to play dangerous sometimes. Especially early game, where there's not much consequence to dying, because it's like, well, you've played for all of 5 minutes. You're going to lose 5 minutes of progress. Not a big deal. So the new light switches will have this orange indicator, which is lit up in the dark, allowing you to find the light switch a little bit more easily. There's a lot of stuff in here. So there's knee pads that I can wear. Sweet. For some leg protection. Do I keep putting them on the left knee over and over? Yes, I am. There's a small file set, nuts and bolts, heavy chain with hook. I don't know what is useful and what isn't. I think what we could do in this case is like go into, you know, the crafting systems and figure out what we need for certain actions. But I think what's more reasonable at this moment is to pass over most of this stuff, especially if it's particularly heavy. So like maybe I'll take a funnel, but like anything that weighs a whole lot, to just not loot it until we know if we want to use it. So I do know, for instance, that a tire pump's pretty useful when you're trying to pump up flat tires, or like duct tape to repair some stuff. But I'm not necessarily going to take everything that isn't nailed down, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make use of it. And Therefore, I don't want to weigh myself down for no reason. We will take a flashlight, given the new lighting systems. I definitely don't want to be in the dark. And this has all batteries remaining. Perfect. And a rubber hose sounds pretty useful for, like, siphoning things. Alright, looks like there's a barn next to me. Let's head there. And at this point, I can start marking... Ooh, let's zoom back in. I can start marking down the places I've been, so that I don't need to reloot them. So there is a shed here, or a garage. I probably want to check that out too, because I don't really have a good blunt weapon yet. Screwdriver and a bread knife are honestly really inferior in terms of their combat capabilities, so I'm going to want something better than that. This leather jacket is kind of ruined. So this moodlet here is like, these corpses stink. And you don't want to hang out around them. So instead of going to the barn right now, I'm going to head to this garage. It does look like it's guarded by 3 or 4. My character is both clumsy and conspicuous, meaning that zombies hear and see me earlier. I'm also getting a little hungry. So, I'll have some yogurt. There was a zombie in this tree, too. Did I lure one? Or are they just making loud noises? I think... Oh, no. One sees me. Good. We don't want to... Like, when you don't have a weapon, you don't really want to fight more than maybe 2 at once, because you can, like, shove one over and stand on them while you fight another. So I'm not looking to pick a fight with the whole block. Just a few at a time. Larissa. You don't look like a Larissa. Now, another thing that they added to the game that I hadn't covered is the Z levels, the height levels. There are now basements and high rises. And there's probably not going to be a lot of high rises out here in Echo Creek, because I think this is very rural. But at some point, we could also consider, depending on how long I live, to go into the city and to try to check out the, you know, high-rise type stuff. So when you use certain body parts, like your legs, over and over and over and over, like I have been, you will get tired. So it is also useful to fight zombies in different ways. So to shove some of them, push them down and stomp on them, and then to vary it by, you know, maybe stabbing them or swinging using your arms, etc. So that you're not overusing one specific body part and then getting muscle strain. It is a nice looking car. I know. Can't get at it at the moment. And I don't have a blunt weapon to be able to smash the garage open. I will check the house though. Can you snipe zombies from high places? I don't know. I haven't tried. A very fancy TV you got here. That window's broken. The fog is clearing, which will be nice, because I'll be able to actually scout the neighborhood a little bit more. Have we been auto-drinking our bleach water? And it's not bleach. Yes, we've drank almost half a liter already. Ah, high thirst indeed. Some popsicles. Nothing like putting an ice cream sandwich in your satchel, uninsulated satchel for later, right? That's totally how thermodynamics works, right? Alright, so that's a very quaint 2-story with a fire pit. I like it. An angler magazine. I mean, I guess. I don't like fishing, but, like, I'll read it. Whatever. Some recipes are known from professional traits. Oh, there's a lot of zombies out front of that house. We have a big old farm. Down south is a larger house. And then over here was some sort of barn as well. So let's go check it out. Maybe there's some farming equipment. I might be able to get a rake or a shovel or something better than just continuous stomping, which eventually will wear me down. So, for this house, we looted this, but not the garage. So I'm not going to mark the garage down. There's also a propane tank in the backyard. I don't know how to mark that down. I don't know if we're going to really want it later, but... propane. You know, if we're trying to do a lot of metalworking and blacksmithing, maybe marking down the propane could be useful. I'd imagine. All right, that barn, I don't have high hopes. It's probably just a bunch of hay. And Breakfire and Syndra, thank you for the resubs, by the way. Where am I in relation to everything else? It's kind of... oh, so here is the river. And I recall that the river ran to the east of Echo Creek proper, which means most of Echo Creek is over here, I think. That's what I remember from that starting position roadmap. It also means that I know where a source of water is, maybe not a fresh source of water, but water all the same. Not bad. I like water. All right, who am I listening to? Someone in the barn? Yeah. It sounded like they were, like, in my ear. That's neat. Yeah, there's no loot here. Okay. Kind of expected that. So juicy. So I am mostly just looking for either a place we can call home, which I would prioritize high fences, so that we can do like livestock stuff, or a vehicle, somewhere to either move to somewhere nicer or somewhere nice to live. That's like continually my concern when playing early game. Looks like this guy has a holster. Nope. It's just a weird shirt. Okay. Thought I was getting a gun holster. Look, there's boulders. Photograph of a sleeping puppy. Well, now I just feel bad. Parking ticket? Sucks for you, dude. Also, who mails parking tickets? And then the newspaper is from 5 days ago. No danger to public. After crash, Army says. So, one of the things they added in is like more of the lore and backstory that you can discover through newspapers and other articles. Which is cool. Filling out the lore. And I am going to celebrate that by wearing a newspaper hat. It's a bicorner hat. Okay. So here we are at start. Looks like there is a whole lot of cows in the field here to my east with some troughs. Check zone ranch cows. Okay, so there's a cow ranch here. Its enclosure size is 1,600, but it doesn't have any feeding troughs, hutches, or food or water available, which is a little odd because I'm staring at it. But it does have Holstein cows, or cows and calves there. I wonder if I could reload it. What about this zone? This apparently is not a pasture. But that looks like a bowl to me. Ah, work boots. Swell. That'll keep my feet nice and uninjured. Alright, at this point... trying to think of what to do next. I think we could probably go deeper into Echo Creek. I'm not eager to pick fights with, like, pointless fights with a bunch of zombies, but there doesn't seem to be much on this side of the river. And if I'm gonna want, like, car keys or shelter or something, yeah. So that's an Angus bull and a cow. Cool. And you can, like, pet them, and... so, here's the skills menu. I should have shown this earlier. So you've got aiming and reloading, which is the same as before, the combat firearms. For melee, not much has changed there. For crafting, you've got carving. So, it allows the creation of small wooden objects. Or bone, I think. It goes to bone as well. Cooking, electrical, glassmaking, carpentry, knapping, masonry, metalwork, mechanics, pottery, tailoring, and welding. So there's a much longer list of crafting. For farming, it's agriculture, animal care, and butchering. So farming has now 2 more subset skills. Physical is very much the same as before. But I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that fitness and strength level up a little bit differently now. Where, like, before... Build 42, trying to level up your fitness or strength took an incredible amount of effort. Now I think it actually levels up a little bit more reasonably. Not super easily, but a little bit more reasonably. And then survival skills, they've also added tracking and trapping. Or tracking and first aid has become a survival skill. So in the release information about this build, they did mention that the tracking system is kind of simple. It's fun, but you can track where deer migrate and the like to go hunting. So that is something new. Ice cream sandwich, you still fresh? You are. Going in the belly. Alright, I do want to check out this 2-story house, but it's a bit of an uphill battle to try to clear it, but that's okay. Gotta get my hands dirty eventually. Only 2 of them got pulled. Perfect. There we go. Copper scrap. Rotten mushroom soup. Crunch. Sorry, Kathy. I'll go back to her key ring in a second, because maybe it's a key to something nice. A button, belly button dangle? Wow, that is very 90s. Alright, so this was... yep, this has a car key on it. For a wagon. And a residence key. Swell. I wonder if it's this wagon. So if you go... no, I don't think it's this wagon. I'll figure it out once I'm not under attack. Keys have weight now? Good to know. I mean, as they probably always should have, I suppose. Come on. Did you lose me? I, like, walked around a corner. That was enough for you to get lost? So I don't believe it's this car. I'll double check. Oh no, it is this one. It's the nice one that I didn't smash the windows on. So like, I'm happy about that. Alright, what's this car got for me? Besides being surrounded by stinky corpses. We have got out of gas. Got it. One of the windows is kind of busted up. The tires are reasonably pressurized and in decent condition. The hood is in decent condition. The engine is not high quality, but also, like, not that loud. Alright. Well, in that case, let's mark it down as, I don't know, a blue door? That's... Why isn't there, like, symbols for car? Oh, there's more symbols. Okay. I don't have an eraser, so we're stuck with this symbol. There's a symbol for a boat. Oh, there's symbols for tires. I guess I could have used that for a car. There. Future me is going to be like, what the hell is this door tire thing? So, we should be looking for gasoline, I suppose. And I still want to get into this two-story house. And then, whatever that business is. I'm not really sure what it is, but it looks industrial. And I'm around here playing tappy toes with zombies, so I would very much like a weapon. Speedy Go. Sounds like car maintenance, maybe? How worn out. Bloody fillet knife? It's probably better than my bread knife. For, you know, the whole stabbing thing. So yeah, I'll take it. I've got aggro on a few, so I'm not going to be aggroing anymore. Just fall over, dude. I think we've reasonably cleared out around here. It's weird to be, in hindsight, trying the window without the door. Also, I got keys to a residence to one of these houses. I'm not really sure which one. But, let's see. Yep, I have keys to this house. This set of keys. If you mouse over it, you can see it highlights the door. Cool. Well, I definitely don't want to be carrying a watermelon. Really? A fillet knife can't cut a watermelon? Excuse me. Fine. I'll have chocolate instead. Yeah, watermelons are rather heavy, and if I can't cut it up into slices and eat some now, I'm just going to leave it behind. It's a very tiny house. Ooh. Oh, I thought that said dolly. It says doily. Literacy is not my strong suit, clearly. Well, it's nice to have more colors. And there's even more colors, like I've, you know, in my playtest of this, I found, you know, green and things like that. Colors that did not previously exist. Oh, heavy socks. How are these different? They're not. Foot, shin, they keep you warmer. I'm playing, of course, in the summer, so forget that. I was like, oh, armored socks. Not, I mean, that they would exist. I do already have shin guards on, and these are pretty significant, and the reason is, of course, prior to this build, like, you could get leather pants and, like, tailor up your leather pants, but that was about as much armor as you could ever get. Now, you know, you can, get, like, knee pads and things. Brad Locker, thank you for the cheer. Alright, let's go check out the Speedy Go, and then maybe cross the bridge. So we know where a cow farm is if we want to do milk and the like, but I would like to do some more exploration to figure out what the full spectrum of options for us are. I don't want to, like, agree to the first place I see, because I am sure there's a lot of features out there, and if we settle ourselves to this one spot, we're not going to see them. So what does that say? Speedy Go, trucking and transport. Oh, okay. So it's a logistics building. A pager. That takes me back. All right, let's check upstairs first. So it looks like a maintenance bay. Simple stuff. A friendly letter at work? For real? I guess that's why they saved it. The only one they got this year. This place comes with a balcony. Good line of sight. It's not a terrible base location. Oop. This garbage bag had rotten lettuce in it. There. I want the garbage bags if I want to make, like, rain barrels. I'm assuming that the rain barrel recipes are the same. They may not be. I don't know for certain. And let's see. Mechanics 2? I think it's pretty reasonable that I read that soonish. You know, normally I don't pick up a lot of books until I have somewhere to actually stash the books, but level 1 and level 2 books, you can, like, level up to level 2 relatively okay. No emergency channel here. What is USR? Oh, well, it's like talk radio or something, I don't know. Turning it off. A small saw. Sounds good to me. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but we'll see. Heavy duty flashlight. Let's go with the heavy duty. I've seen how dark gets, so if I'm going to have a flashlight, I want as big of a one as possible. Yeah, maybe I can demonstrate how dark gets. It's dark. It's like, ha ha ha, no eyeballs for you levels of dark. And I will pick up a hand drill, I guess, and a metalworking chisel. I'm sure these are tools that I'm going to be, like, not using anytime soon, so maybe I'll drop them, but we'll see. An eraser, finally. Alright, I have an idea. Remove markers. And add in the tire again. Or actually, the steering wheel. With a red gas. See? That's really nice. It's like, you have a car here, but it doesn't have gasoline. It tells a story. I'm gonna take a dirty bandage and clean it. You never know when you're gonna need to patch yourself up. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Unstable 42 Build. which originally streamed live on Twitch December 23rd. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.